bangon muli.
I know that it is this manner of unifying leadership that can lead us through this crisis, get our people safely back to work, for all of us to begin to live our lives once again. And that is why I am today announcing my intention to run for the presidency of the Philippines in the upcoming May 2022 elections.
We have yet to know if the tagline, unifying leadership, is a response to those who are strongly opposing his candidacy, especially the anti-Marcos crowd. His announcement came after weeks of rumors of a possible tandem with Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte. It was even dubbed by his sister, Senator Amy Marcos, as a quote, marriage made in heaven. Marcos has the so-called solid north, while Mayor Duterte has strong support in Mindanao. With Marcos's declaration, however, we're not sure if the reported tandem is even possible. He has also yet to reveal his running mate for vice president if there will be one, although supporters are not giving up and still hoping Mayor Duterte will run with BBM soon. Marcos is running with the support of PFP, where he was just sworn in as its chairman this morning. He even led the blessing of his national campaign headquarters in Mandaluyong City. The PFP, which is a pro-administration party, earlier nominated Marcos as its standard bearer. The son of late strongman Ferdinand Marcos just left Nacionalista Party after a decade of being a member. Although PFP's general campaign manager Vic Rodriguez says NP will remain as an important ally. The lawyer explains they have embraced the policy of having the broadest political alliances. Marcos lost the vice presidential race by just over 200,000 votes to his rival Leni Robredo. Marcos is now second among the possible presidential bets in the latest Pulse Asia survey. Whether or not he will hold on to his strong standing in the surveys in the coming months remains to be seen. Back to you.
Rex, can you tell us what Bongbong Marcos's campaign strategy is going to be in the coming weeks?
BBM's camp remains mum on their next move. He has even yet to say on when he will file his certificate of candidacy. Marcos, however, says he will do his best to reach as many areas in the country as possible, although he will focus on social media campaigns given the limitations due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah.
Rex and Media there reporting. It is no surprise that social media is abuzz about Marcos's presidential run. Hashtag BBM is my president 2022 and hashtag Marcos Magnanakaw were among top trending topics on Twitter. This netizen sees hope for the nation, saying, quote, Marcos pa rin. Another one says she wants to experience how the Marcoses lead the country. She adds, quote, sana magkaroon na ng disiplina ang mga Pilipino, unquote. But other social media users are up in arms. This netizen says, ang perang, quote, ang perang ninakaw ng ama at minana ng anak ay gagamitin bilang makinarya niya sa pagtakbo, unquote. He adds, quote, we will never let hashtag Marcos Magnanakaw set foot in the palace, not now, not ever, unquote. Netizen goes on to say that Marcos is unfit, unqualified, and uncalled for. Another tweet of Akbayan Youth Chairperson RJ Nagit got thousands of likes. An online student congress by the Commission on Higher Education turned into a silent protest. Bongbong's son, Sandro, was featured as speaker for the event, but that did not sit well with participants. They changed their Zoom names to hashtags Never Again and Marcos Magnanakaw. Now, this took place before his father, Bongbong's announcement this afternoon. The younger Marcos is seeking a congressional seat in Ilocos Norte. The activist group Bayan also issuing a statement opposing Bongbong's presidential bid, saying it is an insult to victims of martial law during his father's regime. Now, those vying for elected posts next year have until Friday to file their certificates of candidacy. The Commission on Elections is calling on candidates for national positions to avoid the last-minute rush. Senior correspondent David Santos joins us live from Sofitel's Harbor Garden tent in Pasay City. David, tell us more about this appeal by COMELEC.
The poll body is expressing concern over what it says the perennial Pinoy culture of complying with requirements at the last minute, and apparently candidates for national posts are no exception. Now, COMELEC raised this concern during the inspection of PNP Chief Guillermo Elazar here at the Harbor Garden tent inside the Sofitel Manila premises this afternoon. Elazar seemed pleased over the security setup in this venue, particularly the deployment of his men, as well as the rigid processes everyone, including aspirants, need to go through to comply with health protocols. And while things have been going smoothly here for the past 5 days, officials are a bit apprehensive on what to expect on the last day of the filing of the COC.
Pinoy, yung last minute o yung last day probably baka magdagsaan dito pero nakahanda doon.
What if dumating kayo rito, kulang ang mga requirements ninyo, o mali yung COC ninyo, o mali yung mga supporting documents? You have time to go back and fix it. If pag Friday kayo pumunta, di na kayo makakabalik kasi mahaba masyado ang pila. So far, 26 presidential aspirants have filed their COCs, 6 of them today. This is relatively a small number compared to previous years. In 2015, 130 filed COCs for president, 20 of them on the first day alone. Only one candidate filed his COC for vice president today, bringing their total number to 8. Pia.
David, what about senatorial aspirants and party list groups? Any familiar faces who filed their COCs today?
Pia, there were 7 who filed their COCs for senator, while 26 submitted their certificates for nomination for party list groups. Overall, there are now 45 senatorial aspirants and 76 organizations vying to be among the party list representatives. Among those hoping to win a Senate seat is a controversial lawyer, Larry Gadon, who spoke here against the Aquino administration and the so-called Dilawans, while the Magdalo party list it is hoping to retain its seats in Congress. The party list group led by its founder and former Senator Antonio Trillanes submitted its papers this morning and left without even saying a word to the media, Pia.
David Santos there reporting. Aspirants who filed their COCs today include Metro Manila mayors seeking re-election, one filed without fanfare, the other with supporters gathering despite quarantine restrictions. Our George Quiles tells us that story.
Authorities discourage mass gatherings when politicians file their certificates of candidacy. But this appeal seems to fall on deaf ears, at least for supporters of San Juan Mayor Francis Zamora. A marching band plays upbeat music as supporters gather at the local COMELEC office. Supporters at a mass before Zamora filed his COC were more than the limit for religious sites under Alert Level 4.
We made sure, number one, dito po sa misa natin, 30% lang ng simbahan na ma-occupy. Pangalawa, I spoke with our Chief of Police 2 days ago and everyone involved sa peace and order to ensure health and safety protocols.
Zamora is seeking re-election under the PDP Laban Kusi faction. His running mate is Vice Mayor Warren Villa. Their political rivals, the Estradas, are not yet making a move.
Ako po'y muling naghahay na aking COC sapagkat ang San Juan po ay kinakailangan pamunuan ng maayos upang tuluyan nating maitawid ang ating lungsod mula sa pandemyang ito.
Basketball players James Yap, Don Aliado and Paul Artadi, and actor Ervic Vihande are part of Zamora's slate for councilor.
Ano daw plano ko kung magre-retire na ba ako? So ang sabi ko naman, pwede bang habang kung papalarin ako, habang consular ako sa San Juan, pwede ba ako maglaro sa PBA? Ang sabi naman nila, pwede daw.
If the COC filing in San Juan ran the risk of a super spreader event, Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte and Vice Mayor Gian Soto filed their COCs without fanfare. Belmonte and Soto initially announced that they will file on October 8. They are expected to go head-to-head with the Nakalusugan Party List Representative Mike Defensor and Councilor Winnie Castelo. George Cahiles, CNN Philippines.
More questions than answers from the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee's hearing today, as several government officials were a no-show. Health Secretary Francisco Duque and other DOH officials skipped the inquiry after attending all 10 previous hearings. The probe stems from audit findings of the agency's management of COVID-19 response funds. Senate Minority Leader Frank Drilon had some questions for the Budget Department's procurement service, but no official was present. Blue Ribbon Committee Chairman Richard Gordon saying President Duterte, as a lawyer, should know that he cannot prohibit officials from attending the hearings unless it involves national security issues or diplomatic secrets. Drilon said he will support a petition challenging the constitutionality of President Duterte's memorandum before the Supreme Court.
This has all the all the red flags of unconstitutionality. It only covers the House, the Senate. It only covers the Blue Ribbon. It does not cover other Blue Ribbon hearings, but only this particular Blue Ribbon hearing. This is really, if you want to call it, I cannot see any other memorandum as blatantly unconstitutional as what we have before us.
To those who are not present in today's hearing, we will see you in the budget hearings. So we may raise these questions in the budget hearings.
Senator Francis Tolentino, an administration ally, said he advised the president to let the Blue Ribbon Committee hearings continue in line with the separation of powers. The next hearing has been set for Tuesday, October 12. Now, the country will no longer accept new COVID-19 vaccine trials. The Science and Technology Department says it will opt to have studies involving a new platform or a new way of delivering vaccines, as well as a different population group.
For example, when I say bagong platform, hindi na to mga mRNA. Example, DNA vaccines is one, no? Isa yan sa titingnan. Number 2, yung route of administration. Merong bakuna na titingnan na hindi na by injection, kundi by inhalation through the nose. So, medyo kakaiba. Kaya ito yung mga bagong platforms, new ways of delivering the vaccine na titingnan, at saka new populations na titingnan din.
One of the new platforms recently developed is ZyCoV-D. It is the first human DNA vaccine against COVID. The vaccine will be delivered through the skin without the use of needles. Coming up on Newsnight, tropical depression Lani continues to drench provinces as it leaves 2 casualties, and netizens pay tribute to their mentors this World Teachers Day. More when we return. Stay tuned.
Next.
RPN DXKP Pagadian, ang inyong Radyo Ronda. RPN Radio Philippines Network. Radio Philippines Network. Live to the world, pinaagi sa FB page karon. Mag-download na. Pinaagi sa Google Play o Apple Store, YouTube o Twitter. Alang sa mas ipakuskan ng mga balita, komentaryo, kasayuran o kalingawan. Ang mas ipakuskan ng inyong Radyo Ronda. Member, kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas. RPN Radio Philippines Network. Patuloy na naglilingkod sa bayan. Mas todong pagseserbisyo publiko. Mas todong lakas. Mas pinakikinggan ng buong bansa. RPN Radio Philippines Network. Radyo Ronda. DXKP Pagadian. Member, kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas. DXKP Pagadian, ang inyong Radyo Ronda. RPN Radio Philippines Network. Radio Philippines Network. Live to the world.
Welcome back to Newsnight, where we go above and beyond the headlines. Tropical Depression Lani leaves 2 dead in Cebu province. The Provincial Disaster Risk Management Office says an Indian national drowned while trying to cross a river in Consolacion town last night. In Carcar City, a minor also reportedly drowned while swimming with her friends when Lani hit land yesterday afternoon in nearby San Fernando town. Meantime, Pagasa says Lani is now nearly 400 kilometers west of Coron, Palawan. The tropical depression is not expected to gain strength and may leave the country tomorrow morning. Storm signals have also been lifted, but moderate to heavy rains are still forecast over Palawan, including the Calamian, Kalayaan, and Cuyo Islands. Light to moderate with occasional heavy rains, meanwhile, are expected over Cagayan Valley, the Cordilleras, Bicol, portions of Mimaropa, and Western Visayas. Breaking news at this hour: for the first time in nearly 2 months, the daily COVID-19 infections hit below 10,000. The health department recorded 9,055 cases today, pushing the total number to over 2.6 million. Active cases are at over 103,000. No update on the number of deaths again today because of technical issues with the COVID Kaya system. Now, a survey showing a significant decline in Filipinos' approval of the Duterte administration's performance in key national issues. In a poll conducted by Pulse Asia, the government had the biggest drop in its handling of rising prices of goods and services, or inflation, which went from 63% in September last year to 37% last month. In efforts to control the spread of COVID-19, approval ratings declined from 84 to 59% in the same period. Results also showing a 25-point drop for issues like fighting graft and corruption in government and increasing workers' pay. The administration's performance in reducing poverty, meanwhile, fell by 24 points. The administration still enjoys majority approval ratings on fighting criminality, responding to calamity-affected areas, and protecting the welfare of overseas Filipino workers, among others. The survey was conducted on 2,400 adults from September 1 to 6. Malacanang says the low approval ratings reflect the current economic situation where millions of workers were affected by heightened quarantine restrictions. The palace says the government is ramping up vaccinations for the gradual reopening of the economy. The 2022 race heats up as more aspirants formalize their bids for local and congressional posts. With only 3 days left to file certificates of candidacy, Tristan Odalo tells us how the race is shaping up so far in the provinces.
In what could be a show of force and unity, Senator Ralph Recto expressed his support for the re-election bid of incumbent Lipa Mayor Eric Africa, who filed the certificate of candidacy on Tuesday. Africa highlights the need for continuity in leadership amid the COVID-19 pandemic.
Napakagandang pagkakataon na muli ko may pagpatuloy ang ating mga nasimulan na mga programa para sa ating kababayan.
From Lipa, Recto went to the provincial capital to file his COC for Batangas 6th District Representative.
Siguraduhin na tama ang paggastos ng pera ng buwis ng taong bayan, no? At gamitin sa tamang mga proyekto at programa. Pangalawa, nabanggit ko kanina, we have a continuing problem sa COVID-19.
The senator, however, remains mum on the plans of his wife, Batangas Representative Vilma Santos Recto.
Population shall run as VP or Senator po?
Malalaman ninyo, hanggang 8 naman tayo.
Joining Recto and Africa's Batangas slate is the husband of vlogger Alex Gonzaga, Mikey Morada, who is seeking re-election as councilor. Over in Laguna, former journalist and Laguna 3rd District Representative Sol Aragones is challenging incumbent Laguna Governor Ramil Hernandez. House Committee on Health Chairperson Helen Tan will run for governor of Quezon Province. She will go head-to-head with incumbent Governor Danilo Suarez. House Speaker Lord Alan Velasco, on the other hand, formalizes his re-election bid as Marinduque's lone district representative. In Cebu City, the wife of former Tomas Osmeña will be running for city mayor. If she wins, Margot will make history as the city's first female local chief executive. Meantime, celebrity Richard Yap will seek a congressional seat in the Northern District of Cebu City. This is his second try to win a House seat after he was defeated in 2019 by the late Cebu Representative Raul Del Mar. Tristan Odalo, CNN Philippines.
Today, we honor teachers for their hard work amid the health crisis. AC Nichols sheds light on the challenges they face in their second year under the distance learning system in this report.
For years, teachers shape the minds of children and help them discover their passions. Not an easy job, especially under the current circumstances.
Kaming mga teachers, talagang we compensate, we collaborate with the parents on how we can help. So yun ang ginagawa namin, talagang constant communication.
There are at least 1 million teachers in the country, not including those in higher education. For many students, they've become like second parents.
Thank you po sa pagsusuporta at sa pag-uunawa. Na kahit mahirap po yung panahon, nagagabayan pa rin po kami.
Sila po ang tumuturo sa akin sa tama o mali. Sila po ang gumagabay sa mga ginagawa ko sa araw-araw.
Hindi po kami matututunan dahil sa kanila eh.
In the new normal, Filipino teachers don't have to deal with overcrowded classrooms, but they face new challenges. Extra expenses for internet load, poor internet connection, and a different way of presenting lessons through a screen. But some challenges have always been there. At times, they feel overstretched and burned out. Many of them accept it as part of the job. They believe it's worth it when they see students moving up.
Nasusurvive namin dahil siguro dahil sa alam naman pag teacher ka, masyado ka resourceful ka, di ba? Kahit anong paraan gagawin mo talaga para kahit papaano maitawid mo yung hirap na dinadanasan mo.
In the meantime, teachers continue to demand higher wages and overtime pay. Amid the 2022 budget deliberations, they also appeal to Congress to give the Education Department a higher budget so that the agency can provide teachers the support they need, such as gadgets and other tools necessary in distance learning.
Ngayong new normal, nahihirapan pare-pareho. Pero kung talagang mas maraming suporta, both financially and also yung hindi late ang pagbigay ng mga kailangan namin, talagang malaking tulong yun eh.
AC Nichols, CNN Philippines.
As education remains in the blended learning or mainly online setting, so do tributes to remember our mentors and their unforgettable one-liners on World Teachers Day. On CNN PH Asks, netizens shared some of their favorite quotes from teachers. One Facebook user brought up the classic "get one whole sheet of paper" line, the telltale sign of a dreaded quiz. Another netizen recalls a teacher's challenge with a quote, "You look intelligent, all of you, but that remains to be proven," unquote. And a comment recalls the popular announcement that never fails to get students to celebrate, "Walang pasok bukas, may seminar kaming mga teachers." But now it's our turn to drop a line that all our hardworking teachers, educators, deserve to hear. Thank you and happy World Teachers Day from everyone here at CNN Philippines. Still ahead on Newsnight, a Filipino social media personality shuts down haters as he champions gender equality in a magazine cover. And a Broadway icon is taking his talents to the streaming giant Netflix, a sneak peek of Lin-Manuel Miranda's directorial debut when we return.
DXKP Pagadian. Ang inyong Radyo Ronda RPN. RPN. Radio Philippines Network. Radio Philippines Network. Live to the world. Pinaagi sa FB page. Karon, mag-download na. Pinaagi sa Google Play o Apple Store, YouTube o Twitter. Alang sa mas ipakuskan ng mga balita, komentaryo, kasayuran o kalingawan. Ang mas ipakuskan nga inyong Radyo Ronda.
Member, kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas. RPN Radio Philippines Network. Patuloy na naglilingkod sa bayan. Mas todong pagseserbisyo publiko. Mas todong lakas. Mas pinakihinggan ng buong bansa. RPN Radio Philippines Network. Radyo Ronda. DXKP Pagadian. Member, kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas. RPN DXKP Pagadian.
Ang inyong Radyo Ronda. RPN. RPN. Radio Philippines Network. Radio Philippines Network. Live to the world. Pinaagi sa FB page. Karon, mag-download na. Pinaagi sa Google Play o Apple Store, YouTube o Twitter. Alang sa mas ipakuskan ng mga balita, komentaryo, kasayuran o
Welcome back to CNN Philippines. Netizens woke up to news that 3 social media
back online. Facebook assures users that there is no evidence of their data getting compromised after a 6-hour outage. The Facebook VP for Infrastructure released a statement explaining that disruptions in network traffic because of router configuration changes caused the glitch. Users reported Facebook login and connection errors and Instagram feeds not loading past midnight until this morning. The temporary shutdown comes just days after Facebook whistleblower revealed in an interview that the company tried to hide proof that it knew its platforms were being used to spread hate and misinformation.
Facebook has pushed back against these allegations. And also, trending online, the latest Playboy digital issue shows off not only Pinoy representation, but also LGBTQ pride. Hawaii-based Filipino influencer Bretman Rock is the first openly gay man to grace the magazine's front page, and he is only its third male cover model, following late founder Hugh Hefner and musician Bad Bunny. After getting flack from netizens who claim he was not fit for the Playboy brand, Rock posted more photos from the shoot to combat online critics. And before we go moving from the stage to the big screen, Hamilton playwright Lin-Manuel Miranda is making his directorial debut. The new Netflix film Tick Tick Boom tells the story of the creator of critically acclaimed Broadway musical Rent. Played by Tony Award winner Andrew Garfield, the lead, Jonathan Larson, is a young composer dreaming of writing the next great piece of American theater. Miranda was first cast as Larson in an off-Broadway production of the original play in 2014. He said he was honored to adapt Tick Tick Boom into a motion picture back in 2018 when the project was just taking off.
What does it take to wake up the generation?
It would be a tragedy to give up what you have.
Take off and fly. Fear or love, baby, don't say the answer. Actions speak louder than
The autobiographical movie will be available for streaming on Netflix November 19. And that is it for now. Thank you for I'm P. Ontiveros for Newsnight, where we go above and beyond. It is 81 days to go before Christmas.